Hey everybody, this is Ashley with Publish with Ashley, and I know you guys are always asking about how do I promote my book for free. All right, well, Instagram is one way you can promote your book for free, and I know that Etsy shops have a really good track record of if they do a 30-day kind of launch style for their shop, it tends to do really well. And so I thought you can use this strategy for a book. So what I wanted to do was kind of go through and walk you through 6 steps to launch your book on Instagram. So if you're interested in things like that and marketing for free on KDP, Etsy, learning how to make money online, print on demand, all those sorts of things, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, without further ado, we're going to get into this and talk about 6 steps to launch your book on Instagram. So our first step is define your target market. I know you guys are tired of hearing me say this and you want to skip this step, but it is really important that you do not skip this step. You have to know who your product is for. If you do not know that, there's no way your customer is going to want to buy the product, because if they can't connect to it and you can't connect them to it, it's just not going to happen for you. So you have to understand who your book is for. Whose problem does your book solve? So let's ask yourself a few of the basic target market questions. Age, gender, income, interests, brands they like, work life, daily habits, goals, challenges. Challenges is one of the biggest things you need to basically do to solve your person's problem so that they want to actually purchase your product. Okay, the next one, number 2. After you've done all that, you need to go through and look, how does your book solve your target market's problems or problem? So what are their problems? We kind of talked about their challenges, but this is a step that you need to do to define and really organize your thoughts around what are the benefits of your book. So you want to list the benefits and you want to list the secondary benefits. The example is easy recipes. Okay, so if you had a book that had a bunch of easy recipes and then had blank lines so that your audience could write other easy recipes in them, it's not just about getting food or getting food quick, but you can have the secondary benefits of spending time with more family, less time in the kitchen. I was thinking about I love crockpots because they cook while I work, right? So not only do the family gets to come home to a home-cooked meal, I get to come home to a home-cooked meal. I throw it in the morning, and when I come home in the evening, dinner is done. And I love that, right? That is a benefit to me. That's one of the reasons I have like 10 crockpot books, because I can't get enough of them. I love the idea that it works for me. Okay, so you need to kind of connect with your audience, find their pain points, find their problems, and how does your book solve those problems? You really need to go through and not just list the obvious stuff, but kind of that secondary idea of, if you get your food quicker, you get to spend less time in the kitchen. You get to spend more time with family. You get to help your kids work on their homework while dinner is just cooking in the oven or in the crock pot, whatever. You need to have sort of that whole environment of what your book can do for your customer. You need to be creative in this. People buy solutions, okay? They don't buy problems. They don't want something else to clutter their life. They don't need another book or a journal that just sits there. And believe me, I have quite a few of those. But they are going to be convinced to buy because your book offers a solution that they have been looking for. And that is what you need to think about for your audience. And I know, yet again, you might be tempted to not do this, but you need to do it. This is really important. If you're serious about KDP, you're serious about creating products online, these are important steps. And if you skip them, you're going to be frustrated and wondering, why isn't my product selling? Because you don't know who you're selling it to and you don't know what problem it solves. These are really important, so don't shortchange them. And I know it takes practice and it'll take some time, and you need to go through them more than once to get this right, if there is really an exact right answer. But put the work in and you will be surprised how it really does connect you to your audience, which is what you need. All right, the next one, number 3, create 30 days of content. Okay, so create content 30 days worth. In Instagram, 1 to 3 posts max. So really, if you create 30 pieces of content for 30 days, that's pretty good, okay? If you want to create 45 so that some days you have 2 and you want to test times, because they do, I'll talk about it later, but they do like you posting at specific times, like when your audience is active, but maybe you want to test sometimes, then definitely make a few extras so that you can, test out some times and see if that performs better for you. All right, so create the content. There are lists and lists of things you can do to create content, but I was thinking specifically, what do you probably want to do for your book? You want to create content that shows and showcases the benefits of your book. Does it solve the gift problem? Does it solve, their problem of writing down their diabetes medication? Is it a homeschool planner? What, we went through and defined all the solutions and things that your book can do for people. So you want to be able to capture that in kind of those Instagram stories, reels, or just photos. You could take and make in Canva just the posts, graphic posts that kind of highlight these things. What solutions does your book offer, which is kind of the same thing as benefits, but slightly different, I think. If you think of something kind of in a different way, you find a new solution to it or a new idea. So I like to think of benefits and solutions because sometimes you get something a little bit different. Engagement. What type of things engage in your audience? Do look on Instagram and see what people are posting against, what people are commenting on, what people like, and see what gets engagement, and then create content that is similar to that highlights your book's qualities. You want to ask questions that encourage comments. That is something you can definitely do. And, getting people active in a community, and the more people who respond to you, the more Instagram's algorithm likes that, right? They like community engagement, and people do tend to answer questions. Okay, so you want to think about engaging questions, see what's being posted out there, come up with your own question that kind of maybe somehow relates to your book or relates to your audience. Okay. Then you're going to make quotes are really good, depending upon your audience. Trending topics, definitely jump on trending topics within your niche. Ask me anything, so you can have some sort of ask me anything type posts, and also any sort of demonstrations or things that highlight the benefits of your book. Those work really well too. Okay, there's a ton of things you can Google, types of content on Instagram. You can just look on Instagram and see what is working for your niche and then do things like that. All right. And the next thing is finding hashtags. You want to use all 30 hashtags. This takes work, but work is how you are going to get your product in people's hands. Okay, you have to put in the work, you have to get your word out there, and hashtags are one of the things that you need to do to get your stuff noticed on Instagram so you can get it out to the audience that you are interested in. Now, you want to aim for mostly small and medium engagement levels. So hashtags that have under 300,000 are generally considered small, and they will get you some engagement, but they aren't as competitive, so you will get Instagram to show your post to people. But it's going to be a smaller audience, which is why you want to use the medium hashtag 300 to 500,000. Oops, I forgot a zero there. That's supposed to be 500,000. So you want to use small ones, medium ones, and you can use a few that are 500,000 plus on engagement numbers, but limit those because if you're new, unless you already have a following, if you're new, you're really not you're gonna get lost. You're just not gonna be found in those sort of things. So you can do 1 or 2 of them because if the small and medium start to gain traction, you do want to be able to, get to the next level. So including a few of those isn't going to hurt, but really try and aim for mostly small and medium posts, okay? Now, think of it like a pyramid or like stair steps. You have like quite a few of the small ones, and then you're gonna have some big ones at the top too. So you can kind of climb that ladder, right? Climb the stairs. Now, use audience hashtags and also interest hashtags. More you want to put on the interest hashtags than the audience. Now, audience hashtags are things that identify with a certain type of audience. Solopreneur, marketer, designer, teacher, right? Like careers or associations, things like that, right? Now, interest hashtags are kind of exactly what they sound. Online business tips, hashtag workout tips, just things that are more focused at somebody's specific interest, and the other is kind of, around a type of person. Now, I wanted to show you the example of fishing. I'm not sure why I was looking at fishing on Instagram, but here we are. I pulled up fishing, and what I wanted to show you, so this is a big post. It's got like 40 million, posts on it. So this is definitely something you want to niche down, smaller than fishing. But how you do this is you type in hashtag, hashtag. Okay, so I actually tried in fishing logbooks, fishing books, different things like that. We're going to actually go to fishing logbooks. This is a really, really small one. It only has 53 posts. But I wanted to kind of show you, definitely, try some of these. It doesn't hurt. People actually have some comments and likes and things like that. So, it doesn't hurt to put your books out there for this sort of thing. Now, I wanted to show you this one, fishing logbook. This is not the prettiest thing. It shows no benefits. Like, see how none of these, these are actually the prettiest ones. Available on Amazon. It's got a pretty background. And, these are decent. But I still don't know the benefits. Vintage style fishing logbook for anglers. Okay, you're not selling me. There's no intrigue. There's no interior pages. I don't feel connected to this. It's kind of like, okay, did I need one of these? But you could do something like looking for a gift for an avid fisherman, right? That is a much more engaging title than vintage style logbook. Well, obviously, I can see that. Thank you. But it doesn't intrigue me. It doesn't give me ideas of what this book could be used for. Now, I did want to show you, I think it was this one. Look, they only used, and sorry if this is yours, I do applaud the fact you're trying to use Instagram, but they only used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 of their 30 hashtags. Okay, there's a lot under fishing. Okay, so you could do better than this. If you are going to spend the time to actually do a launch, spend the time to do a launch. Don't just sort of do it halfway, because you'll get, sort of okay results, right? That's kind of how things go. So spend some time. Like, these ones aren't too bad. Fishing logs, so you'll never forget that big fish. I still think it's a little busy. But, this one at least has interior pages. I like that. So you can go through and look and see, I don't know if you have a fishing logbook or not, but you can go through your particular thing and find. So all you're really going to do to find these is you're going to start typing in, and I think it's because I'm running live here, it's not showing the numbers, but it'll show how many posts, especially if you start clicking on them, it shows how many posts. So you're going to really try and find the, some small ones under 300,000 posts, and you're going to try and find bigger ones that are 300,000 to 500,000. And yeah, you can aim for just fishing and things that have much bigger. Fishing books, I'm kind of surprised there's not more fishing books. One of my friends actually sells fishing lures. He makes lures, and he actually promotes and sells them through Instagram. That's his only marketing tool, is he sells his lures through Instagram. So he has hashtag fishing lures, and he has a few different hashtags. So, you can definitely find bigger audiences than this, but hey, you may want to try and throw your book on things like this. They do have likes and they do have comments, maybe not a ton. Like this one has under 57, which isn't too bad considering there aren't that many posts on this. But try that, find hashtags that make sense for your audience, that you have enough people and enough engagement, but isn't too big either. All right. We didn't even look at fishermen, right? Fishermen, that's an audience type hashtag, whereas fishing is that interest hashtag. So you can look at whose audiences make sense for that type of hashtag as well. All right, so number 4, schedule your 30 days of posts with hashtags and direct to your product. So you could also direct to your email list, your website, things like that. But if you just have your products on Amazon, direct them to Amazon. Aim, like I said, aim for 1 per day minimum of posts. Post when your audience is most active and post at the same time of day. Now, go through and see. You just have to kind of see when your audience is most active, or think about, right, you defined your audience. So make sure you use that data that you created, researched, and thought about so that you can use that. Now, if you know that your audience mostly works 9 to 5, maybe you start posting at their lunchtime, or maybe you post in the evenings, or things like that. You just look and see when your audience is active. And like I said, if you have a few extra posts that for your 30 days, you made like 45, then you can try and post maybe at lunch and maybe after work and see what starts to work. Now, number 5, engage. You must get out there and spend the time. If this is going to be effective for launching your book for 30 days, you need to spend 30 days on it, not just like quit after day 2 because you don't think it's working. You have to engage. You have to get out there. You have to answer questions. You have to respond. You have to message those that ask questions. Get out there, do the work. Engage with your community, because they buy from people they know, like, and trust. Okay, and if you can engage with them, they're more likely to purchase from you than some rather other human being on the internet. And number 6, review, assess, and adapt. And that's basically saying, look at how things are going after a few days. What's working? What's not? What can you change, adjust? Or should you create new material? Is it just not working at all? And don't be too frustrated in the beginning because the first few days, it probably isn't going to look like it's working. But maybe think of some new ideas. Maybe learn from what data you did get. Maybe there's one of your posts that got like 10 hearts, 10 likes, and the rest got nothing. So what about that post? Was it the time of day? Was it the picture? Was it the words? Think about what you think might have worked. All right. Now, you can also assess, are certain hashtags working? What about the time of day? Just look at different aspects and see what can work better or what is working. Now, change 1 or 2 things at a time so that you can see if it has an effect or not. Don't go and scrap everything because then when you restart, you're basically restarting. You don't know if what you changed is going to make it better or worse. It's just too much to assess if something worked or didn't work. So just change 1 thing at a time, change 2 things. Keep most of your hashtags, but switch up a few and see if those other ones that you're switching up and out work better, work less. See what you can get traction from. All right, well, that's kind of the 6 steps. This last step is super important. If anything, through this 30-day process of launching your book on Instagram, number 6 is honestly the most important. Because if you just go and try and you do it, and whether it fails or succeeds, if you don't actually review and assess and adapt, the whole experience, you're not going to learn anything from. You really have to sit down and decide what worked, what didn't work, why did it work, why didn't it work, why do you think? You're never going to get some concrete answers. All you're going to get is kind of, as you go through it, see what trends you did see or didn't see. You just have to really think about it, use your brain, and decide what worked and what didn't. And that's one of the most important things I think you can do. And as you do this process over and over again, you will get better. But this is just kind of the 6 steps to launch your book, and it's pretty simple. If you don't know what you're doing on Instagram, just start with some of the basics. And I think this is kind of a really basic overview as far as how to launch your book and how to think about it. And it's just a 30-day experiment, right? Try and get out there and push your book for 30 days on Instagram and see what results you get. All right, I hope this was really helpful. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like this video if you thought this was really helpful for you. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much. Bye.